review slash guide to how to set up the mods and how to work them. A lot of you have been writing in comments, sending me Twitter messages, sending me Facebook messages about how to get specific mods working, and as much as I do enjoy answering all of your questions and comments below and everything like that, I decided it would be just very helpful if I just make a review on core mods that I use in my current Let's Play of Little Tamriel in Skyrim and New Adventure. So let's go ahead and begin by starting a brand new game, and I'll tell you everything about all the mods. All the mods are going to be in the description below, and I'll show you how I start every single mod. And the first mod you'll see from the start is SkyUI. SkyUI is important, and I love having this mod. It pretty much gives you this entire UI to work with and mess around with. It doesn't just affect the racial change abilities, it actually also affects everything else in the game. From the in-game menu to spell menu to everything, shows you extra stats and lets you categorize different objects and different items in your inventory according to type, value, and so on. So here we got a character that is just chill, and we're gonna preset him to, you know what, this will work. This is our Viking named Jaeger. This is Jaeger. Welcome, Jaeger. Hi, how's it going? Welcome to Skyrim. I know you're new here, but you're gonna be used as our training dummy and a test dummy for all the mods that we're gonna improve. Everybody say hi to Jaeger. He's gonna be our guide. Hello everybody, my name is Jaeger. And I don't know why Jaeger sounds like a weird drunk pirate Santa crossbreed. Anyway, we're gonna finish the name of the character. And that's how we begin with the Jaeger. So, some of the mods that are currently used, they're currently loading up right here on the top right, as you can see, such as Wet and Cold Holidays. Right now we started Frostfall, the big mod, reflecting cold weather survival, where we gotta see the quest journal for details, and we're currently in the A New Life mod, which already begins from the very start, where we can select, come up to this statue of Mara, and select our brand new adventure for Jaeger. Jaeger is gonna be our guide throughout the new adventures and setting up all the mods. So at first, let's go ahead and talk to statue of Mara and choose our new adventure.
Approach, my child, and choose where your new life shall begin.
Now from here, you can choose whatever intro you would like to choose and roleplay that intro into the main story. You can continue doing the main quest if you would like to. There is a way to get to it, but I think it's boring to always stick to the same quest line over and over and over again and always start off as a prisoner. I think it'd be kind of fun to start off by coming into ship for Skyrim, being a property owner, being a new member of the guild, being a patron in a local inn, or being a soldier in an army. All those intros sound a lot more interesting than being a prisoner, which is your classic Oblivion, Morrowind, and Skyrim intro. But if you, however, enjoy the intro that Skyrim originally offers, we do have an intro called I Got Caught Crossing the Border Illegally, which I believe starts off the main campaign intro or similar as campaign intro. For today, we're gonna make Jaeger a Vigilant of Standar.
Service to the divines shall bring you glory.
And after Statue of Mara tells you that, she asks you to use the empty bed behind us to begin our new life. And now, when you wake up, you begin your life as whatever intro that you decide to choose. And you get a chest or a bag or some kind of container that offers you all the necessary things to start off with, such as some gold, lockpicks, crafting materials, and things that your character would need in his regular life in order to survive the wilds and the wilderness all around him. Some things you can sell, some things you can keep, but you start off pretty well set off, and it usually starts you off in very nice clothing, such as this Vigilant of Standar attire, which fits really well when you want to roleplay your character to be somebody other than the prisoner of Skyrim. And now you can begin your adventure. Choose whatever questlines you want and talk to whoever you want, and pretty much take on a new personality for your character. The best part is you can do whatever you want, and you can go back and try out all the different stories, and you can click surprise me if you really want to be surprised by what's going on. Now let's talk about Frostfall, the next important mod to the immersion that I use in my series. In the Frostfall menu, we should be able to find the quest called Frostfall and select it to be active. In the quest it says I should find my copy of A Survivor's Guide to Skyrim to refresh my memory on cold weather survival skills. To activate Frostfall, stare at a night sky between 7 PM and 7 AM, or activate Frostfall via the SkyUI mod config menu, or open the console and enter set start Frostfall to 1. Now, if you're the kind of person that's willing to wait until the specific time, you can do so, or you can go through the other menus in order to activate the Frostfall mod. Once you get the Frostfall mod activated, you immediately get to actually experience the entire thing. So once you get to the point where you are between the times of 7 PM and 7 AM, you can feel free to look up to activate the mod. Lost in thought, you reflect back on how much wilds have taught you about yourself over the last several days. You recall a book you once lost was full of wisdom about survival in your open country. On a whim, you open your pack and find the Survivor's Guide to Skyrim staring back at you. Had it always been there, or had thought alone summoned it? You push aside the thought as you thumb through its pages and then carefully place it back, knowing that some things are never truly lost. So now you got the Survivor's Guide added, and you can equip it, read it, and begin the mod. You can read through it if you want to. It will tell you everything that you need to know about the mod and some simple hints about this and that. Make sure to go through the guide if you would like to on your own time, or in a Let's Play if you're recording it, or whatever. And this will tell you everything that you gotta know, all the basics and all the simple things. After a while of practicing all the things, you'll finally get used to using the mod at its fullest and be able to confidently stay warm, stay dry, and stay alert. And now that you're ready, you can begin. As you can see right now, it looks like my character is already freezing because he has snow all over him and is getting kind of cold. It is kind of chilly and we are just wearing regular clothes. Right now I feel comfortable, but the blue bar on top means it is cold as all balls and you need to go inside somewhere. Different places will have different colorations on the very top. Some will have light blue, which is slightly cold, yellow, which is pretty nice and warm, or white, which is mostly misty. From time to time your character will get cold, and you will have to just get near the fire to warm up. You will see the bar on the right fill up with blue or red as you begin to freeze, or fill up with heat. As you stand out in the cold and freeze your naked ass off, you will start noticing that your red bar is turning into a blue bar and you will begin to freeze and start catching hypothermia. If your blue bar completely becomes blue, you catch hypothermia and get sick and will start slowly dying. Eventually, if you don't get into a warm place, you will die. I promise you it is not a fun experience. I've been trying to avoid it as best as I can, and you should too. You should find a fire to warm up. You can also drink alcohol to reduce your exposure temporarily. By default, you will die at very high exposure. You can also get a lot of exposure by jumping in the water. That is the best way of catching exposure, especially when you're well clothed. If you're geared out and jump in a puddle of water, you'll catch a lot of exposure, which is going to be really bad for you in the long run. So I recommend not doing it and staying as warm as you possibly can. In Frostfall, clothes in Skyrim will make a difference. If you wear warm clothing, it will keep you warm during frost areas. If you wear light clothing, such as a mage's robe, it will not protect you as well. So if you need to change clothing depending where you are at, do so, or just wear something that's going to keep you warm at all times. With Frostfire, you will get two abilities, survival skills and weather sense. Weather sense will determine what kind of weather is around you and how much you're exposed. Survival skills will offer you a lot of stuff, such as build campfire, craft items, harvest wood, view status, inspect equipment, and exit. Build fire simply builds a fire. You'll be able to place a campfire anywhere and put it together, and once you have some dead wood or driftwood, you'll be able to place it. Craft item gives you a different type of crafting that you can do for your character, such as a lot of warm clothing that you can wear during the time of need. You can make a bow, arrows, hatchets, walking sticks, and other materials that you will need to survive. Harvest wood will help you harvest dreadwood or firewood. In order to harvest firewood, you need an axe. In order to harvest dreadwood, you need to be in an area where there are a lot of sticks. View status tells you your current exposure, your rank, your exposure resistance, frost resistance, exposure protection, current exposure, and wetness. In order to inspect equipment, you will need to have wear enabled in your add-on. You go to mod configuration, Frostfall, if you have SkyUI, gameplay, and enable wear. Yes, accept enable wear, and now wear will be enabled for you. As part of enabling of default wear, all of your current equipment items have been unequipped. Re-equip your equipment now to start using your equipment's new exposure protection. This will make it so that each and every single piece of gear that you wear will have a certain exposure protection against different types of conditions. Currently, all these gear provide standard exposure protection. Some provide full, some provide limited, some provide standard. Standard is medium for normal gear. Limited is very light and will not provide you with a lot of protection, and full will provide you with full protection against any type of cold weather. Now another great add-on to use for Immersion mod is the iNeed mod, where you will have your character need certain things such as food, water, and sleep. Hunger, thirst, and sleep deprivation will affect your character's stats. All my abilities and stats will be limited because of hunger, thirst, and being tired. In order to adjust anything for the iNeed section, you go to the iNeed add-on, General, Food, Notifications, and Guide in order to figure out what you need done. Sometimes hunger rate, thirst rate, and fatigue rate can be a little low, so you can adjust it. You can enable and disable drink animation, which I prefer mine enabled. You can also enable dangerous diseases, which will actually make your gameplay even harder. I'm here to turn that on because I know I will die with how many diseases I've been getting as Tamriel from just vampirism. If I can contract vampirism from 7 different vampires, I can catch every single disease out there in Skyrim. You can also enable that your follower may need needs and your horse may have needs. You can adjust the eat hotkey, drink hotkey, automatic eating, automated drinking. You can add cannibalism if you like, decrease food availability, no salt requirement, and food spoilage. This mod can give you a nice addition to the world and can be the most brutal immersive mod ever. Another great mod to have is Immersive Beds. Immersive Beds will simply make your character go to sleep and actually lay down in your bed. For example, you can simply get to the bed and your character will lay down to sleep. And we'll go through all the animations, whether it be a bed, a bedroll, or whatever. And once your character got some rest, he will simply get out of bed afterwards. The animation cannot be sped up as far as I believe, but it is a nice addition to make sure that you are fully immersed into your character's experience. A Matter of Time is another great add-on because it allows you to have a clock for your Skyrim gameplay. Right now my clock is set to be pretty simple, but there are a lot of intricate and interesting things you can do to customize your own clock so you can see what time it is in the world. It is always good to know what time it is in the world because when you try to immerse yourself into the realism of Skyrim, you can finally figure out how long you will have to take until a specific time, and you'll be able to keep track of time that passes by whenever you're in the cave. So let's say you get in the cave, you get out, and suddenly it's nighttime. You ask yourself, hey, why is it nighttime? Then you look at the clock and realize, oh, I've been there for 18 hours just farming some loot. Now this mod is absolutely optional, but if you like to have it, it's called Face to Face. Remember when in Oblivion you would talk to somebody and it would zoom in right to the face? Whenever you want to get into any kind of interaction with people and you want to be able to actually see their facial expressions, add clarity, you can use this to actually zoom into their face and be able to talk to them and see all the expressions, which allows you to focus more on the character and interaction with that character rather than what's going on outside of the world. Sometimes it can be a little buggy, but it works most of the time. Now, get out there, drink a little, and have fun surviving the snow. I hope this video helps you out. Everybody say goodbye to Jaeger. We'll see him later in the video when I talk about more mods in the future. My name is Tamriel, like, subscribe, and as always, have a great day. See ya!